guys, Marsengan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to complete the final one of the new missions that has been added for the anniversary for the legendary Vegeta event, and this is the Bond of Master and Disciple mission. So it kind of happened by accident, because one of the first runs I did, I basically let the stream decide what team we were going to use. And when it came to doing this final mission, I actually did attempt a run on the stream using like Future Gohan and Trunks and Kid Gohan, like a proper full classic quote-unquote Bond of Master and Disciple build. But then I decided to do this video just because I kind of wanted to discuss a little bit of the situation of what's going on Global at the moment with the anniversary. Because I talked about it a little bit in the run-up to the anniversary, but on Global, obviously, we're used to having to wait quite a while for stuff to come out. And over the last year, stuff has actually been coming out slightly faster. Like, I remember the days when it was exactly 6 months, maybe 5 if you were lucky, right, for Global to get something that came out on JP. But nowadays, we are getting a lot closer. We've had stuff come out like 3 months if it's like a Dokkan Fest. We've even had some of the quality of life updates come out literally like a month later, or even less sometimes. So it's pretty cool that sometimes we are getting stuff a lot quicker. But the one thing that never changes is the anniversary, because obviously it's tied to a specific date. Every year the anniversary starts on Global on the 7th of July, because that is the anniversary of the game releasing for the first time. So they can't make the celebration early, right? They can't decide, well, you know, we've been making everything else come out after like 3 to 4 months, so let's bring the anniversary forwards a little bit. Now, one of the problems with that, of course, is the hype for the anniversary stuff starts to lessen a little bit. I personally definitely was feeling that until we got to like the last month before, right, when we were finally in like the countdown where we literally only had a couple of weeks to go, and that's when all the hype really started to bubble back up and I started to get really excited for getting these new anniversary LRs again. But the other thing that I think is kind of worth mentioning, and it's circling back around to why I'm using this team for this run, is the fact that all of the anniversary content is now way easier on Global, because of all of the things that Global has gotten in the year since the anniversary on JP. So the anniversary came out in February, and as we talked about with, like, you know, speculating about how hard the red zone was going to be for Global players and stuff like that, when the anniversary started on JP, there were 0 200% leaders in the game. And then, of course, the anniversary LRs came out, and they were the first 200% leaders. And then at the end of the anniversary, as the anniversary was ending and shifting into the next Dokkan Fest, we got Captain Ginyu, who was the next 200% leader. Whereas Global, we already have 4 200% leaders going into this celebration, and I only realized as I was about to start recording this, hence the way the team building kind of came about, every single one of these 4 missions that has released in part 1 for the Goku event and the Vegeta event can all be done with a 200% team that is available on Global, that was not available on JP. Now, obviously, it's not to say that these missions for the Goku and Vegeta event were particularly difficult, but this just makes them even easier. Like the red zone, obviously the first 4 stages are not particularly difficult. I think I did, apart from one of them where I let the chat pick my team and we picked the Majin Vegeta team. But most of my red zone runs, or at least the videos that I've put up so far, have been done with non-200% teams, because obviously these first few stages are a lot easier than the ones that are going to come later. But for these missions for the GT Goku event, we had Artificial Life Forms and Target Goku, both of which could be done at the same time by building a team with the AGL Cell lead. You could literally, because he's on both, and you could literally build a team that fits under his leader skill. They wouldn't necessarily all be on the 200%, but you could build a team that fit under his leader skill that would beat that mission, well, both the missions at the same time if you wanted to. I only did them as separate videos because obviously as a content creator I've got to milk every little bit of content out of these things. I'm not going to do 2 missions in one video, what, are you crazy? Plus it gave me the ability to do the Majin Buu team for Artificial Life Forms, which is still a team that I very much enjoy using. But you could use that team to do both of them. And then the Vegeta event missions, one of them was Planet Namek Saga. So if you haven't seen that video already, we did that with the Ginyu Force. and I was streaming at the time. Chat wanted me to just go all out and show no mercy, so we used the support memory to give Extreme Planet Namek Saga units the permanent buff for the entire event. And so, rather unsurprisingly, that stage got absolutely destroyed. And then, of course, that leads us right back around to where we are now. So, Bond of Master and Disciple, the STR Goku and Gohan are a Bond of Master and Disciple unit. And using their leader skill, we are here running this team with units like the EZA Future Gohan, who's probably one of the better units on the Bond of Master and Disciple team anyway. But he gets the 200% leader skill from Goku and Gohan. And then we have units like this Tech Trunks, who's really, really good post-EZA. He's only getting the 170 leader skill bonus, but 170 is more than enough for doing this event. I mean, we've been beating the Legendary Vegeta event over and over again for however long it's been out now. Months. Was it out by the time the 6th anniversary came out? Has it been out for over a year? I literally don't even remember. So, I mean, this event is not particularly hard anymore. And obviously you can just go ahead and use a straight up Bond of Master and Disciple team with like double AGL Gohan leads or something like that. And you will be perfectly fine. But, I mean, this is obviously not, not providing any challenge here so far. Goku is 162k. I mean, post super attack, Goku's defense is obviously more than good enough to be fine here. I would exchange into Gohan if we actually had a slot where we could take a ton of attacks. I guess I could have put the Tech LR in slot 1 and then put this guy in slot 2 and transformed, but I'd honestly be worried that we would have finished him off, because if the LR gets a crit and then Goku actually gets some additionals, that could have quite easily happened on this turn. So we might not even actually need to bother transforming the STR Goku, although ideally, of course, I would like to have Gohan as the slot 1 unit for when we get to AGL Blue Evolution Vegeta. But, I mean, this team has been absolutely steamrolling over this run so far. We're making pretty good time. Compared to some of the other videos and just runs that we've done in the past, if you're using a team that is a little bit on the weaker side, Legendary Vegeta event runs can easily take you up to like 20 minutes or so. And we are currently, the recording time is at like just over, it's about 7.5 minutes. And we're about to finish off the, what is it, third to last phase. So Future Gohan potentially just finished, of course. I think that's the second time in a row he's dodged Future Gohan. So, of course, Vegeta are going to extend the length of the run here by getting some cheeky dodges in. But at least we land a blow with Trunks. Unfortunately, type disadvantage means you don't really do a lot of damage if you're not getting crits. It's one of the most noticeable things. I mention it in videos all the time, but like you can see a unit put out like a 10 million attack stat, but if they've got type disadvantage and they don't crit, then it's not necessarily going to do a large amount of damage. So yeah, unfortunately with the STR Goku and Gohan, there's no point transforming into Gohan unless you know you can take a bunch of hits to start building up his passive, because obviously he only gets the couple of turns with that guard before it wears out, and then you need to get like all of his buffs within those couple of turns. So didn't really want to get the Dokkan attack before we finished off God Vegeta, but since he apparently refused to allow himself to be hit by physical Future Gohan, I guess it's somewhat unavoidable. You imagine if we'd actually taken him out on the previous turn, we'd be starting off the physical phase with the Dokkan attack from STR Goku, or potentially Gohan, depending on how many attacks there would have been in slot 1. We potentially would have one-shot the physical phase. So, as you can see, it's all going rather well for this run. I mean, we wouldn't have suspected otherwise, right? That was kind of the whole point of what I was doing here, what I was explaining in the intro. The same thing happened last year, and it's going to happen every year at this rate, right? Like last year, JP got the God of Destruction event. When it first dropped, it obviously seemed like it was going to be very difficult. The anniversary LRs were designed to be good in that event. Well, especially UI Goku. I don't know if SSBE Vegeta, I don't know if I can say in good conscience that he was designed to be good at anything. But especially not being pulled by me in less than 4,000 stones. But anyway, the God event, and then of course it came to Global, and Global had got a bunch of other stuff. We got the GT heroes and all that kind of stuff from the Golden Week, just like this year we have Goku and Gohan and Cell by the time the anniversary rolls around. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did Helles with a GT Heroes team. So obviously that's the one that changes typings every phase. And then anyone where you need to use like a physical or an int team, I absolutely brought GT Goku and GT Vegeta. Obviously the Super Saiyan 4s got their easy A's and they were really good as well. Man, there's no way I can do this and have Gohan actually not kill, right? So if I do this, is he even going to get to take 3 hits? Man. We're like, the problem is we've been doing too well on this run so far. So, will Gohan kill? I think he actually might, you know. Alright, let's go ahead and... we might as well transform, I guess, because we've only got a couple of turns left anyway. So we might as well let ourselves take at least one attack before we start going into the AGL phase. If we're lucky, we won't actually kill him here, and then we can take those other hits as well. But we'll see. I also really want to use the active skill against AGL Vegeta, but for the Tech LR, obviously. My LR Goku and Gohan is only 55%, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and do this. We'll do this. And obviously, we do have the heal in the back pocket for AGL Kid Gohan in case we do take a bit of damage. But obviously, Gohan gets an attack. Yeah, 6.7. I think he probably is going to kill him here, especially because the ideal build for Goku and Gohan is additional. Oh, he only got an additional normal. Okay, good. Yes, give me them hits. It's a shame there wasn't more, but we'll take those. And then just a casual 8 million from a 55% LR Goku and Gohan with no attack support on the rotation, because Kid Gohan only gives defensive support. So that's an LR that I'm quite looking forward to having rainbowed at some point in the future. Okay, so you share every link except Cold Judgment, and you obviously share quite a few less. He's only got 266k. If one of those 2 attacks in slot 1 are not a super, then I feel like this is probably the better way to play out the turn, just because of the extra links that all the future Gohans are going to get here. But if he super attacks in slot 1, that will be a little bit annoying. And of course he did. Because Trunks does get that defensive buff on his super attack. But how much will this do? 200k? 132. That's alright, actually. We take those. He's not going to take those, apparently. But we're going to try again. Masenko. Alright. 2.3 mil. Double super from him. So even though he dodges, we still get the buffs and everything. So we know the whole of the rest of the rotation is going to be tanking for double digits. Future Gohan, nice 5.6 mil attack stat for him with no support. Because remember, transformed in Future Gohan doesn't support. So we're looking very good here. He might not even he might not actually get an opportunity to kill STR Gohan. Because on the next turn, we're just going to use the active skill for Goku and Gohan, which is going to do a lot of damage. And then I believe that counts as their attack and therefore gives them their defensive buff. So let's put them in the middle here. Let's go ahead and use this. I do love this active skill.
I can't lose. Try this one, Gohan. Come here. Let's see more of that power.
Yeah, go Super Saiyan 2, Gohan. Also, this later part effect, like the beam, the whole like crumbling into dust, and then that last part. A lot of the Dokkan attacks and like active skills have a thing where the beam or the explosion like comes off of the planet. But that one is definitely one of my favorites. So we can go ahead and do this. We know our Gohan still has his guard. Once he takes like the first hit, he's gonna get his defensive buff. So as long as he's not getting supered in slot 1, we should be okay. I mean, even if he gets supered in slot 1, we should be okay. Because after he takes that first hit, he's now got that defensive buff. And then the first hit he's going to take after this then gives him his full passive. So even in literally the last, like, 2 phases, the last 2 turns, we've still been able to get Gohan fully maxed out. He's taking no damage. Unfortunately, though, he doesn't do a lot of damage if he doesn't crit. But 7.1... I think will they finish him off here? If we get the additional, yeah, let's go. 4.1 for the 12 key super additional on a 55% LR. So, yeah, this team absolutely crushing this stage. We even got the extra additional from the hidden potential, but it was only a normal attack. So I guess STR Goku is going to finish him off here. How much is this going to do? Will this do damage? Their defense has got to be pretty high at this point, even for 55%. It still does damage. Okay. I guess Rainbow it probably doesn't, right? But Goku should kill, even with no crit. Yeah, he does. I like the fact that that is basically his like KO screen as well. It looks sick. The instant transmission Kamehameha is mwah, chef kiss. I love watching clips of that again. Him firing it into Cell. So good. So I'm glad that we have that represented in the game. But there you go. The Bond of Master and Disciple mission. Very easy. No item run. Absolutely crushed. Because, as I said, Global just has a ton of extra advantages that JP didn't have. And like I said, it's easy enough to beat this without having to use this team. But Global definitely just gets these extra advantages that are very nice. I mean, this team in and of itself, this team build is very, very tasty. So there you go. That is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.